I've just received my Sig Sauer Tango 6, and unfortunately there's hardly anything about it online. So I thought I'd do a little bit of review, a little bit unboxing, show you what it's all about, because I think it's a great bit of kit. So we've got a couple of iron screws here. One's for the zero stop and one's for the turrets. Yeah, battery for the illuminated ret and the Levelplex. A couple of instruction manuals, scope cover, and a sunshade. Right, so before we start, let's fit the battery. So in order to fit the battery, you're going to grip the parallax and turn it anti-clockwise. There we go. So the battery it uses is the Charlie Romeo 2032. Right, so just quickly over some of the features. So it's a 5-30, and what I really like is that they have roughly about 13 times right in the middle there. So I usually, when I'm at competitions, I usually run on between 12 and 15. Sit on, say, 13, and then I can quickly go around to 6 if I lose my target, or on the other way, I can quickly go up to 30 if I've got time to take a longer shot and I've got a particularly small target. So I really like that feature. A lot of scopes, they'll start on 6 over here, and you have to turn all the way around to get to max power or medium power. So moving forward, the turrets are fitted with a lockdown turret system, which means in order to add elevation or windage, you've got to raise the turret and then it turns. The clicks feel really nice. You can definitely feel a difference between each adjustment. And then to lock them off, you can leave them like that, or you can lock them off by just pushing down like that, and it's the same for the windage. As you've noticed here, there is a turn indicator. You get roughly 11 MRAD per turn on this one. It is fitted with, as well with a zero stop, which we'll cover a bit later on when we zero it. You have roughly 23.2 MRAD worth of elevation, and you have 14.5 MRAD windage on here. Moving on to the side, on here we've got both the parallax, which is the inner ring, and then on the outer ring we have the illumination. So the parallax goes from 30 all the way up to infinite. The illuminated reticule has 7 day settings and 2 night vision settings. It's also fitted with a motion activation. We've got it stored in your cabinet. You don't have to worry about the battery dying because it will just turn itself off. But as soon as you put a little bit of movement in it, it will automatically come back on. On the side here, this is the button for turning the Levelplex on. So the Levelplex is an anti-cant system fitted within the scope, which you'll see in a minute. It has 2 main settings. It's got a fine, which a tilt activation of 0.5 degrees, and a coarse, which is a tilt activation of 1 degrees. The way you turn it on is you simply just press the button there, and that turns it on. To go through the settings, you just turn it off, and then you press for 3 seconds, and it will cycle through the settings, and as soon as you stop pressing, that's the setting you stay on. So the field of view for this scope at 100 meters on low power is 6.3 meters, and it's 1.1 meters on high power. This model of the Tango 6 comes with 2 reticule options. The milling one, which is very basic mill hash reticule, and the one I went for, that's the Dev L. Personally, I do quite a bit of holding over, especially for wind. I almost never dial wind unless it's a constant wind. and if there's a multiple target stage, I usually hold off one of them as well for elevation. So for me, the detail on the Devel is exactly what I was looking for. I've just zeroed my rifle, so now I'm just going to quickly show you how to slip the scales and set the zero stop. So there are 3 Allen screws on both the elevation dial and the windage dial. Once you've undone those, you can then lift the elevation turret off. There's then another Allen screw on the inside. So again, remove that. And then this here is your zero stop. So again, there are 3 Allen screws. You're going to undo all 3. And then, as you can see here, there's a little arrow. You've got to turn that in the direction of the arrow until it stops, and that's your zero stop set. I find it's easier if you use the Allen key to turn it. Just hand tight will do. Then you replace the turret locking mechanism. Then you replace the turret, ensuring the zero is in line with the zero on the scope. Turret does turn up and then returns to 0.